Yeah, I totally have to get this off my chest, because if I see another post, video, or tweet from some millionaire celebrity spewing their political opinions at me, I may have to call up my boy Elon and get their asses canceled. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy Muddy, aka Jay from Queens, and today we're going to dive headfirst into a phenomenon I thought would never be possible if you asked 15-year-old Alex back in the 2000s, and that's how irrelevant Eminem's opinions have become. No, not my boy Marshall. What have they done to you? But before we get started, please, if you like any of my utterly useless takes on film, games, and popular culture, then feel free to smash that like button. I know you hear this from countless YouTubers, but it really does help my channel grow. And as a full-time office worker and dad to my little boy, making this become less of a hobby and more of a future source of income would really help turn our lives around. And hey, if you agree or disagree with anything I have to say, then let me know about it by leaving a comment. I try to answer all of them personally so we can have a civil conversation about this kind of stuff. Thanks in advance, and without further ado, let's get on with the video. The year is 2020. The world was stuck inside their homes playing Jenga and freaking out about their toilet paper supply. A certain gay tiger-loving cowboy won the hearts of millions, and us Americans watched as cardboard cutouts donned the stands of baseball games, leaving countless foul balls unattended for. You have no idea how much that irks me. But besides the presidential race, BLM protests, and social distancing, there was another event that personally I believe to be up there with one of the most important events of the year, the 2020 Golden Globe Awards. Now, bear with me, let me explain. Ah, yes, the Golden Globes. Tinseltown's finest lined the red carpets in their finest drip, flaunting their wealth and fame for the world to see while eagerly awaiting their potential awards. The likes of Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hanks, Scarlett Johansson, Ellen DeGeneres, Bobby De Niro, Jennifer Lopez, and my personal favorite, Joe Pesci, yes, he is still alive, sat in tables drinking their Dom Perignon and eating their filet mignon, clutching their chairs as they nervously awaited to see who was worthy enough of a small golden statue. Does that sound relatable? Sound like something you do on a Friday night after work? Well, of course not. But then again, you're not a celebrity, are you? No, neither am I. At least that's what I tell myself. All we could do is sit in front of our televisions and ask the same question the Beatles did back in 1968. How does it feel to be one of the beautiful people? However, out of nowhere, the host for that evening, Ricky Gervais, stepped to the podium to give one of his classic opening roasts. Now, normally this would be your standard establishment comedian telling lukewarm insults that would be laughed at and brushed aside as the silly little gotcha jokes that they are, and we would all move on with the night. But those who know Ricky know he's not one to hold back, and luckily for us, he hates the self-righteousness of Hollywood, and he was about to go off.
A superb drama, yeah. A superb drama about the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that runs sweatshops in China. So, well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and fuck off, okay?
Ricky's speech rocked the world as news outlets, social media, and independent creators spread his speech to the masses like wildfire. Finally, we had one of our own, someone who thought what we were all thinking say the quiet part out loud. I mean, look at Tom Hanks' face right here. He's clearly uncomfortable with the fact that Ricky is shouting from the rooftops something that the guys at the top don't want the public to know, that they don't matter anymore. And now, it was out there. And any slight influence Hollywood celebs would have on the public was suddenly gone with a simple stand-up bit. They were freaking out. You see, just a few years before that night, the world got a glimpse of this firsthand when Hillary Clinton lost to Donald Trump in the 2016 election. How could that be, said the media pundits. The Young Turks would even say during their election night podcast that she clearly had every celebrity in Hollywood backing her and it didn't matter. She even had Beyonce. And they were right. Not even a dance party with Beyonce.
Kamala is at a dance party with Beyonce. 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 Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce.
Could swing the average American voter to check off Hillary's name on that ballot, and she is the queen bee. But what do you know? It turns out that simply being beautiful and knowing how to drop a hit song or two every year doesn't mean that your opinions on the plight of everyday working class citizens are as impactful as, let's say, an average everyday working class citizen. And it just so happens that just a few years earlier, a little old platform called YouTube was giving a voice to those who most of us found immensely more relatable. And thus the swaying of public opinion was born on the YouTube platform, and the commentator sphere began leveling the playing field. Now, there are numerous examples of channels that really took off around this time. Be it H3H3, Timcast IRL, Steven Crowder, Noah Samson, Ben Shapiro, The Young Turks, and even that terrorist-loving socialist hypocrite Hassan Piker. And the list of commentary channels just keeps on growing. Personally, a couple of my favorites I just discovered were Sean Head, Nerdrotic, and Turkey Tom. Check them out and sub to the channels if you haven't already. Suddenly, the trend of guy at home with a mic became something the majority of us normies gravitated towards, as we knew their skin in the game wasn't influenced by big corporate conglomerates controlling every single little narrative. Remember when giant TV political pundits crossed the line into celebritydom, like Stephen Colbert and John Oliver? Suddenly their opinions started to hold less and less water as their fame grew larger and larger. The days of true blue journalism with personalities we used to trust, like Walter Cronkite and Barbara Walters, seemed like a bygone of a long-lost era. I even remember the day I heard that Stephen Colbert would be leaving Comedy Central to host late-night TV and thinking, oh great, so he's been bought and paid for now. Can't wait to not watch him anymore. And that was the sentiment the majority of us average Joes had. And these YouTubers weren't idiots. They knew their shit. Well, except for Hassan, but that's a story for another day. Take Tim Pool, for example. Coming out of the 2016 class of election covering BLM reporting commentary channels, his subscriber count and views grew exponentially, leaving most big-time media folks scratching their heads. How the hell is this kid getting more views than Jimmy Kimmel? Garbed with his trademark Black Scully, Tim was your run-of-the-mill, straight-out-of-college, mid-20s libertarian who sympathized with social government programs but understood the importance of economic prosperity. His takes were passionate and from the heart, and all this coming from a skateboard-riding bro. Now tell me, as a 20-something-year-old growing up at the time, who would you gravitate towards? A millionaire like LeBron James telling you the president is a racist bigot without any context, simultaneously charging you absurd amount of money to see him play live, or a dude who looks like someone you'd hang out with at 7-Eleven tackling an issue from all sides and speaking like one of your friends on a free service like YouTube? Yeah, it's an easy guess. Listen, this isn't a dig at celebrities in general. We still enjoy the movies and TV shows you do. Well, for the most part. I think it's pretty unarguable that the quality of certain TV shows have tanked due to studios adopting identity politics over substance. Cue the Rings of Power or Disney Star Wars as classic examples of a poor product tainted with DEI initiatives shoving certain styles of politics to a fandom who doesn't exactly align with them. It's foolish and quite dumb from a business perspective to alienate half your audience strictly to look good in the eyes of your political overlords. I mean, Disney alone has fundamentally abandoned almost all of its die-hard Star Wars fans by putting cheap narcissistic principles such as race and gender above telling good stories. Something the first 3, heck, I'll even give you the first 6 movies did well. This not only shattered the faith in the community for the series, but also for the actors and actresses who stood firm behind the message rather than siding with the opinions of the overwhelming majority of fans. And that, my friends, is a turnoff if I've ever seen one. Why the hell should we back you if you won't back us became a rallying cry of thousands of fans, not only for Star Wars, but for all the countless shows, movies, and franchises destroyed by an ideology that they don't believe in and actors that they used to call their idols. So yes, when Scarlett Johansson, Mark Ruffalo, and the rest of the Avengers cast hop on a Zoom call to address the American people to go and support their political candidate, well, I gotta tell you, it doesn't move the needle much anymore. You see, while I was writing the script, it's actually funny. One of my favorite and biggest emerging YouTubers on the platform, The Critical Drinker, posted a video tackling this exact same topic and literally took the title I was going to use Thanks a lot, drinker, you intoxicated menace to society. But moreover, he mentioned something that I happened to be thinking about at the exact same time. Now, for context, every celebrity I've mentioned in this video so far has a particular similarity to one another, and that's that they've all claimed that if Donald Trump won, they would leave the country. Now, right off the bat, we know this is bullshit. They all cried this same song and dance back in 2016 and are all still here, in their $1 million palaces, collecting $1 million checks, and attending award ceremonies where they all line up to kiss each other's asses, looking like some kind of glamorous version of the damn human centipede. To quote my man George R. R. Martin in his wonderful A Song of Ice and Fire series, words are wind. If you make an absolutely outlandish statement, no one will believe you. We didn't back then, and we sure as shit didn't this year, making them, if possible, more disingenuous than they thought was humanly possible. So why would we take your endorsement seriously if you can't even keep your word? It's hyperbole in its finest form. As Drinker said in his video, you could practically see the dump trucks of money depositing their load in the background of their Zoom calls. Effectively, the modern-day celebrity endorsement has become synonymous with the average snake oil salesman or career-lying politician. Snakes in Gucci sunglasses, pretending to understand the struggle of the average American family having to choose which item to put back because the grocery bill was more than the cash they brought with them. It's an insult to our intelligence. But that's just the thing, isn't it? They don't think you're intelligent. Each one of these pretenders have become so lost in their own extravagant California lifestyle that they truly believe that their mindset is the only one that matters. And their Jupiter-sized egos float about, thinking their sphere of influence will sway your opinions on something as big as a presidential election. Well, reality check, dirtbags. We don't care about you anymore. If you all fell off the face of the earth, we would find someone who could entertain us just as well. Alternative platforms have saturated your precious market and given rise to independent content creators, the average Joe or Jane that can do it just as well as you guys. And they're 1,000 times more relatable. And it doesn't require a subscription to Netflix or, dare I say it, a ticket to a movie theater to reach them. The populace has spoken, and your irrelevance has never been more clear to us than it is now. And you can either accept it and come back down to earth, or shut your gold-plated mouths and simply act for once. Maybe then you could gain whatever sliver of respect remains for you guys back. But until then, on behalf of the majority of my country, across the pond, and throughout the globe, please, fuck off, would you? And that's all I have to say about that. Guys, thanks for watching the video. Like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about celebrities now? All right, do you look at them in the same way as you did back in the 2000s? I doubt it. All right, but let me know what you think down below. Leave a comment. I'll be sure to answer you guys. And follow me on my socials, do all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. You know how it goes. Till next time, guys. Peace out.